students, now come to the first primary sex organ of the female. Previously we have discussed about the total diagram of the female reproductive part. Now we are talking about this pair of ovaries, which is the primary sex organ in case of female body. This ovaries, as we have drawn in our female reproductive part, that it consisting of this vessel-like structure. The two ovaries or a pair of ovaries found at each side of this uterus or the female reproductive part, having the pair of ovaries at either side of the uterus, and it is also present in the lower abdomen. It is found in the lower abdomen and in the pelvic part of the body. Lower abdomen or in the pelvic part of the body, the two ovaries are present. They are attached to the, it is the uterine part or the uterus found at either side of the uterus, and it is attached to the uterine wall by a ligament known as ovarian ligament. Ovarian ligament. So, the two ovaries found attached to the uterine wall with the help of a ligament is known as ovarian ligament. These are also held in position by the help of another type of ligament is known as mesovarium. Mesovarium is another ligament which is able to attach with the wall of the pelvic cavity. These two ovaries attached to the wall of the pelvic cavity by the connective ligament is called the mesovarium. So, here it is the total location of the ovary. The two ovaries are present at either side of the uterus of the female reproductive part, and these are found at the lower abdomen of the female body. They get attached or held in position with the help of two ligaments. The ligament, first one, the ligament which is attached with the uterine wall and it makes an attachment with that of the ovary is called ovarian ligament, and this ovarian ligament used to help to hold the ovary get attached with the uterine wall. Another ligament is also found there is called the mesovarium, which is going to attach with the pelvic wall or the pelvic cavity of the female body and makes the particular position of the ovary in the female body. If we are talking about here we have discussed the location or the position of the ovary. The two ovaries are particularly almond to almond shaped structure. If we are talking about the cross section of the female reproductive part or the cross section of the primary sex organ, or if we are talking about the longitudinal section of this female reproductive part, it will be looks like a structure like this. If we are taking the total longitudinal section of this female reproductive part, we have the structure over here, in case of ovary, it is roughly almond shape in structure. If we are talking about the ovary, it is roughly almond shape structure. It looks like there are two almonds shape organs are present on either side of our pelvic cavity. So this structure is about 4 to 5 centimeter in size, and it has a covering over here is called peritoneal cavity. Inner to this peritoneal cavity, the total structure found inside in this ovary is called stroma. The peritoneal cavity is the outermost covering of this almond shaped structure or the ovary. Peritoneal cavity covers externally. The innermost mass of this structure is the connective tissue, that is called the stroma. Then the stroma is get divided into two parts. First one is outer cortex and inner medulla. Outer cortex and inner medulla. The cortical part is lying attached to the peritoneal covering of the ovary. The cortical region or the cortex found lower to that of the peritoneal cavity. It is also called tunica albuginea. Lower to the tunica albuginea, the cortical part or the cortex is present over here, which consisting of the real germinal layer of this sex organ, from where the germ cells are get erases or egg or ovum is ready to produce. So these are the cortical region, and here the primary germinal cells get divided, a number of cells are produced, get divided into number of cells, is called primordial germinal cells. And these primordial germinal cells then get divided mitotically to produce a huge number of these primary germinal cells, and at a particular time they get form a tube like structure over here is called egg tube, or it may be called Flügel's tube. Then in due course of the time, this egg tube becomes rounded in structure is called egg nest. And after that egg nest, another structure is get produced, is known as primary follicles. And these primary follicles having a center egg-like structure that is called primary oocyte, and these are the germinal layer. Primary total structure is called primary follicle. This primary follicle is then converted into the Graafian follicle, having the outermost layer is called theca externa. Inner to the theca externa, another layer is also found, is called theca interna. And these are the granulosa layer or the granulosa cells found at the attached to the theca interna in case of this follicular structure. And these follicles having a center large primary oocyte, and the total structure having the granulosa layer at its surrounding region, having a space called antrum which is filled with leuker or the fluid, having outermost covering theca externa and theca interna. All the total structure is called mature Graafian follicle. So here the mature Graafian follicle is now ready to produce the oocyte and ready to release the oocyte from the ovary by the process of rupturation or the ovulation. After particular period or the time period is formed, this mature Graafian follicle is ready to release this primary oocyte from this part, and this process, this is called primary oocyte, and the release of this primary oocyte from the ovary is called ovulation. Here it is the ruptured Graafian follicle. So, after the rupturation of the Graafian follicle, the post-ovulatory phase, the post-ovulatory structure of the Graafian follicle is then converted into an endocrine structure, is called corpus luteum. And this corpus luteum then get converted into, after some times get converted into white scar-like structure. is called the corpus albicans. So here this is the structure of ovary. What are the different parts of this ovary? I have written over here. I am repeating again that here the structure of ovary consisting of an outer covering. First of all, the ovary is oval structure or almond shaped structure found at each side of the uterine part or the each side of the pelvic cavity, and this structure, if we are taking the section coating of this ovarian part, the ovary is consisting of an outer covering is called peritoneal cavity, or it is called peritoneum. Peritoneal cavity, or it may be termed as peritoneum, the outermost covering of the ovary. This peritoneum is a layer which protects the ovary externally. Lower to the peritoneal cavity, the connective tissue structure, fibroconnective tissue structure is also present over here, is called tunica albuginea. This is the fibroconnective tissue structure is called tunica albuginea. Inner to this tunica albuginea, the different germinal structures are found over here. So, in our previous talk, I have told you that the two ovaries get connected with the help of the ligament that is called ovarian ligament with the wall of the uterus, and with the help of the mesovarium that get connected with the wall of the pelvic cavity. Here, this is the ovarian ligament. And the total structure, outer covering is called peritoneal cavity. The total inner structure is called stroma. Stroma is the total innermost structure of the ovary, and it is differentiated into two parts. That is, one is cortex and another one is medulla. The cortical and medullary part together constitute the stroma of the ovary. At the center or at the central part of this ovarian structure, it is supplied with the vascular tissue. It gets supplied with this vascular tissue. The blood vessels are also found at the medullary part of this structure, vascular tissue. These are called ovarian artery, and some parts are found over here is called ovarian vein. So, these are the vascularized structure present at the middle part of the ovary. So, the ovary consisting of this internal structure is called stroma, which is get divided into cortical part and medullary part. Most of the cortical part is comprises of or consisting of the germinal layer. These are the germinal cells of the ovary, and these are in different stages of their germinal development. These different stages of the cubical germinal cells of ovary produce are shown over here, and at the middle this part is called medullary part, and it is supplied with the blood vessels. Okay. So there are different types of germinal structure found over here in the ovarian cortex. The ovarian cortex consisting of the primary germinal cells or the primordial germinal cells. These are the primordial germinal cells. These are numerous in number, particularly in case of a female foetus. There are a large number of germinal cells get divide mitotically. They undergoes this division process to produce a large number of primordial germinal cells. Then these primordial germinal cells undergoes a tube-like structure over here. These primordial germinal cells form a tube-like structure. The particular structure is called egg tube, or it is also termed as Flügel's tube. And this Flügel's tube, in following condition or in following interval of the time, they get rounded in structure. They becomes rounded. This rounded structure of the egg tube is called egg nest. Then the due course of the time, the egg nest, the primary germinal cells of the germinal cubical epithelial tissue providing these germinal cells, from this egg nest, one of the primary germinal cell gets selected from this egg nest and placed and come to the central part of this follicle and makes a structure where there is a central large cell, and at the surrounding cells are found. That particular follicle having the central cell, primary cell, and surrounding granulosa cells is called the primary follicle. So these primary follicles get prepared from the egg nest get prepared from the egg tube, and the egg tube get arises from the primordial germinal cells. The number of primary follicles is numerous. First of all, in case of embryonic life, the female foetus have the numerous number of primordial germinal cells, and these cubical germinal cells proliferate into thousands or the millions of primary germinal cells. Primary follicle cells developed into or proliferate into a number of primary follicles develop into primary germinal cells, and due course of the time these follicles get developed into a tube-like structure called egg tube, and this structure, in case of foetal life, the primary germinal cells divide to form the oogonial cells. These are the oogonial cells. These are the oogonial cells which get divided in the foetal life, and further division, the division of these primary germinal cells into the oogonial cells doesn't occur after the birth of the baby. That means in case of the foetal life, these primary germinal cells get divided into numerous number of the oogonial cells. Then further egg tube formation, egg nest formation, and the primary follicle formation is completed before the birth of the female foetus. There is no further oogonial development occur after the birth of the baby. These cells get arranged in a particular structures to form a round mass that is called the egg nest. At the time of the puberty, if we are talking about this particular phenomenon puberty, it is seen in case of female body at the age of 12 to 13 years. In between the age of 12 to 13 years old, the female get its first maturation, or that is called puberty, or the starting of the menstrual cycle or menstruation taking place during this time period. During this time period, the mature Graafian follicle is ready to release the first ovulatory structure, or the primary oocyte is ready to release this primary oocyte during the first maturational division, or the first maturation, or the first puberty. Up to this puberty, these follicles get arrested at a particular stage of the division. As we have talking in our previous class, the sexual reproduction is consisting of the type of reproductive division is found over here, that is the meiotic division or the meiosis. And in case of meiosis, there are two divisions. First meiotic division is the mitotic division, and the second one is the reductional division, which is found here in case of the primary germinal cells. During the process of gametogenesis and the process of oogenesis, the ovum which is get released out from the ovary is called the primary oocyte, and this primary oocyte is get arrested at a particular stage, maturation stage of the cell division. And if we are talking about the divisional stage in case of this female fetus before the birth, the primordial germinal cells get divided into several number of oogonial cells, and oogonial cells next form a tube-like structure that is called the egg tube, and this egg tube becomes a rounded mass that is called, this rounded mass is called the egg nest, and from this egg nest one of the oogonial cell gets selected from this total mass, rounded mass, and comes to the central part of the structure is called the primary oocyte, and the total structure is called the primary follicle, or it may be termed as the immature follicle. After the time period, and this immature Graafian follicle, after the time period, the mature Graafian follicle get matured, immature Graafian follicles. At the time of the puberty, the cells reduce, the number of the cells, that means the primary follicles reduced to 3 lakhs in number. That means follicles reduced to 3 lakhs in number. And out of this 3 lakhs primary follicles, only 400 Graafian follicles are going to produce the ovum throughout the life of the female reproductive system. Throughout the female reproductive life, a female is able to produce only 400 mature ovum, or the 400 released from the 400 mature Graafian follicle out of these 3 lakhs primary follicles. That means during the developmental stage of the embryonic life of the female fetus, the oogonial cells get arrested at a particular stage that is called diplotin stage of maturation 1 of meiotic division. This maturation phase having the meiotic divisional stage, having the diplotin stage, where the maturation stage get arrested by particular factors, and they get again released, or this arrested region becomes released by the onset of this puberty. After 12 to 13 years, this arrested region get released by this onset of puberty, and after that, the maturation after the puberty comes, the primary follicles get converted into mature Graafian follicles. These mature Graafian follicles having number of oogonial cells having number of oogonial cell surrounding inside their rounded mass. That means it is the mature Graafian follicle which consisting of the outermost layer that is called theca externa. We'll describe it later on in our next class. That is, what are the particular layers or the structure of the Graafian follicle. Now, you have to just need to know what is the further structure of the primary follicle, which is called the mature Graafian follicle. And once in a month, after the maturation of this Graafian follicle, they get released out once in a month of the periodic cycle at the 14th day of the periodic cycle or the menstrual cycle. The mature Graafian follicle get ruptured out to release the ovum at the 14th day. This maturation, again I am repeating it, the Graafian follicles, primary Graafian follicles get converted into mature Graafian follicle after the onset of puberty, and due to the release of two hormones, these are called FSH, that is your follicular stimulating hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone, released from pituitary gland, makes the primary Graafian follicle into mature Graafian follicle. Under the influence of this FSH and LH, the follicles becomes matured in structure and they get ready to release the ovum from this ruptured structure. This mature Graafian follicle is then converted, release the ovum at the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. This ovum is then received by the ostium of the fallopian tube, which is present at the infundibular structure opening. An opening is found in the oviduct, in the infundibular part of the oviduct, which is able to receive the ovum, is called the ostium. Then after the rupture of the mature Graafian follicle, after the release of the ovum by the process of ovulation, the remaining part of the Graafian follicle, is get converted into an endocrine structure. That endocrine structure looks like yellow scar, that is called corpus luteum. The ruptured Graafian follicle after the ovulation get converted into corpus luteum. It is an endocrine structure. Why it is termed as endocrine structure? Because it is able to produce progesterone hormone, and this progesterone hormone is released throughout the pregnancy period. If the fertilization occur or the pregnancy occur inside in the female body, the progesterone get released throughout the pregnancy period or up to the 6th and 7th month of the pregnancy period. If there is no fertilization, this progesterone is released only up to 14 days of the periodic cycle. Then they converted into another structure of the particular follicles, is known as corpus albicans, which is also known as white scar, and this corpus luteum is also known as yellow body. So these are the different follicular stages in case of female primary sex organ, and different stages of follicles seen in case of ovary. I am repeating again, what are the different parts? If it will ask you as a short note of 3.5 marks, what you have to write over here. First of all, there are the two ovaries or a pair of ovaries found attached to the pelvic cavity and found present at either side of the pelvic cavity of the female body, or present at the either side of the uterus, get attached with the uterine wall with the help of the ovarian ligament, and they attach with the pelvic cavity with the help of the mesovarium. If we are talking about the cross section of the ovary or the total structure of ovary, the ovary is covered by an outer covering that is called peritoneal cavity or the peritoneal covering, peritoneum. Inner to this peritoneum, another tissue, fibroconnective tissue is present over here. That particular tissue is called tunica albuginea. This tunica albuginea is the innermost packing material, packing covering of this ovarian structure. This total structure after the outer covering of the ovary, the inner structure is known as, internal structure is known as stroma, and this stroma is get differentiated into outer cortical part and inner medullary part or inner medulla structure. Now come to the cortical part. The cortical structure of the ovary consisting of the germinal epithelial cells. These are the different follicular or the germinal epithelial cells. These germinal epithelial cells having the different structure of the follicles or the ovarian follicles. Now come to the medullary part. The medullary part, specially consisting of the vascular region or the vascularized part of the ovary, is known as the medulla. And this medulla consisting of blood vessels. These are the blood vessels which are found at the medullary part of the body. This medulla consisting of ovarian vein and ovarian artery, and they attached to the uterine wall. This medullary part having packed with the fibroconnective tissue. If you are talking about the germinal epithelial layering or the cortical layering of the ovary, here the primordial germinal cells which divide mitotically to produce a large number of oogonial cells, and this division or the phages or the phase of the oogenesis starting from the embryonic life of the female fetus. That means there is the specific differentiate between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis, that the spermatogenesis in case of male is occur only after the puberty seen in case of male body. But in case of female reproductive system or in case of female body, the oogenesis is starts before the birth of the female body or before the birth of the female fetus during the embryonic life. So during the fetal life, the primary germinal cells undergoes the mitotic division or the meiotic mitotically division to produce a large number of oogonial cells, and these oogonial cells, these are the oogonial cells, and these oogonial cells further form a tube like structure that is called egg tube, which is then converted into a round mass that is called the egg nest. Then another step or another structure of the follicle that is called the primary follicle, which from this primary the oogonial cells, from this number of oogonial cells, one of the oogonial cells comes to the central part of the primary follicle and it forms the outer granulosa layer and inner the central structure that is called the primary follicle. And after the puberty, with the influence of the FSH and LH hormone, the primary follicle get converted into mature Graafian follicle. Then once in a month, at the 14th day of the periodic cycle, the ovulation occur by rupturing of the Graafian follicle. The one mature Graafian follicle rupture once in a month, one mature Graafian follicle rupture to produce a single ovum. Then in due course of the time, if a female body have two ovaries, these two ovaries works in such a way that if in this month this ovary, the right ovary is ready to produce the ovum, then another month, in the next month, the left ovary is used to produce the next ovum. And by the process of the ovulation, the ovum get released out from the mature Graafian follicle. After the release of the Graafian follicle, this ruptured Graafian follicle or the remaining part of the Graafian follicle get converted into an endocrine mass that is called corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is known as endocrine mass because it is going to produce the secretion or the produce a hormone that is called the progesterone hormone. This progesterone hormone is able to make the endometrial wall more thicker, more vascularized, more glandular for the future development of the embryo. Then after, if there is the fertilization, the progesterone hormone get released out from the corpus luteum throughout the pregnancy period. If there is no fertilization, the corpus luteum get converted into another structure that is called corpus albicans, which is located as white scar in this total structure. So here this is all about the structure of ovary.